What's up, everybody? Damn, y'all made it out early. What's up? Don't call me Danny. Ian, what's up, man? Yeah, it's late as fuck over there. That's right. What's up, Stardust? Yeah, you was early as hell, man. Jesus. But shout out to y'all for being early as fuck. Jesus Christ. But yeah, man, been a long day. Surprisingly, even though, you know what I'm saying, Sunday, I got a lot of shit to do. So, you know what I mean? Been kind of a long day. Kind of stressful day, man. Got a lot of shit on my mind. But I'm actually glad to, you know what I'm saying, make it home a few hours ago and do this podcast shit. That's why I'm on time. I'm usually always on time. You know what I mean? If y'all haven't noticed. Oh, that's why I picked this time slot because I know for sure I'll probably be good for it at least 90% of the time. Unless some crazy shit happened. Just like the other week when I missed that Sundays because, you know, Thrash talking about Tekken tournament. I can't say no to that shit. Can't say no to no fighting game and shit. You know what I mean? But besides from that, I'm usually good to go and shit. But today we don't. I mean, we have some news and shit that I want to talk about, but they're not really news. They're just my like what I think about the news that we getting. You know what I mean? And just some critiques of what's going on. If you notice at the end of the, you know, at the end of the title, there's critiques and reviews and shit. If y'all noticed the other day, Thrash made a videos about reviews and shit. And the backstory to that shit is because you know, the round table homies was having like a heated discussion, cuz in our own, you know, chat. Cause you know, we kick it and shit, you know, via Google chat and shit. We talk to each other off and on, you know, outside this podcast and shit. I mean, and we was like having a heated discussion. Not heated like, you know, cussing each other out and shit, but heated like you know, motherfucker was like going in on their points and shit. You know, motherfucker was like just typing their shit out. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was at work just going in too. Like I couldn't help myself and shit. But so you know what I'm saying, that's why we have the topics we got for this week. But so today I just want to talk about like, you know, Tomb Raider and Spider-Man sales. And we know I'm not gonna brag about Spider-Man sales. That's not what this is about. Spider-Man sales did exactly what I thought it would do. I told y'all before. I before this game came out, and I was like, I don't think Spider-Man is a better game than God of War because I played God of War already. I'm like, there's no way that game is still my game of the gen. So I still think so after playing Spider-Man. I'm not saying Spider-Man is trash. You feel me? I'm saying Spider-Man to me is not as good of a game as God of War. You feel me? But I figured, regardless of, you know, the reviews, it's selling out the ass. It's gonna beat God of War. It's just obvious. You know what I'm saying? It's obvious. What's up, Aaron? What's up, idiot, man? You know what I mean? So I mean, we don't have clear numbers, but they're already talking about how they're already exceeding certain benchmarks that God of War made already and shit. You know what I mean? But you're right. We don't actually have true numbers yet. They already have like percentage and numbers, but they don't actually have exact numbers. They have things like, you know, the sales amount from the first week dropped 40% in the second week, which is phenomenal for a game, I suppose, because of pre-orders and shit. So if it only dropped 40%, then it's still doing really well, or something like that. Last I read, you feel me? But there, it's basically setting benchmarks higher than God of War numbers are. You know, you didn't really find out that God of War sold 3.1 million like, you know, copies until like a few weeks later. That's when we find out. So right now we still don't know exactly what the numbers are for Spider-Man, but we know it's doing what God of War is doing, except even more. You know, but that's all I want to say, and that's obvious. You know, that's basically just me saying I was right. You know what I'm saying? I called it. I knew exactly what's happening. Now I figured Spider-Man was going to be rated like 91, 92, right? And in my opinion, I still hold it that I deserve a 91, 92. It's a good ass game. You know what I mean? But that's my opinion. You know what I mean? But we'll get to that shit later, right? So Tomb Raider. from what we understand, Tomb Raider's not doing too well. And I'm not bashing the game. I'm lukewarm about it. I'm not like hype for it, or like I'm not saying it's trash. I definitely can't say it's trash. I haven't even played it yet like that. You know what I'm saying? And Tomb Raider, the deep down, honestly, in my opinion, I don't think the reason why it has low sales is because. And now here's the thing too. It's selling more. It's tracking more numbers than the previous one. But the problem is the previous one, when it first launched on the Xbox. And I'm not saying because it's on the Xbox it do poor numbers. I'm just saying it's launched on one console, so it's going to do less numbers, right? And also, because it was on Xbox and a lot of Xbox dude didn't buy them either. Keep it real. I mean, sales number don't lie, right? Rise of the Tomb Raider didn't sell like crazy numbers. It actually did better on the PlayStation, but of course there is more PlayStation out there than Xboxes. So, you know, to be fair with both sides, right? But we're not really talking about that. Really, the reason why, honestly, I think the reason why it's not doing so well because no one's really hyped for Tomb Raider. No one's really hyped for it. It feels very. It feels like how I feel about it. To be honest with you, when I hear Tomb Raider lately, it's like lukewarm. Like when dudes say they hype for it, I don't even know if I like believe them or not because the tone of their voice when they say it. You know what I mean? What's up, Savage? What's up, Gruda, man? Matthew Cuz, what's up, man? You know what I mean? Like that's like I don't even hear the excitement in motherfuckers' voice when they say they hype for Tomb Raider. So that's why I don't think it's selling well. It's just not a game motherfuckers hype about. Not in this generation, not anymore. You feel me? I mean, maybe it lived like maybe that game, that title just outlived its welcome. You know what I mean? It outlived its shine. Maybe I don't know. Damn, for real, video. You ain't buy? Did you buy Tomb Raider at all? What's up, Viera? You know what I mean, shit, man. You know what I mean? Like that's just how I feel about it. I just don't think people are actually hyped for Tomb Raider. I don't think people are hyped for that. That's why it's not selling. It's not because of poor review scores. You know what I mean? It's not because of yeah, because I pre-ordered the Spider-Man, bundle. I was gonna play Spider-Man regardless. Even if they give Spider-Man like a 71 or like a 60s or a 66 or some bullshit, I'd still be playing that motherfucker. So I really don't think review numbers matter that much to a game. You know what I mean? If a game motherfuckers are hyped for, there's just certain shit that will not stop you from playing this motherfucking game that you hype for. You know what I mean? You could have gave Arkham Knight a trash fucking rating. I still would have bought that shit and played it before it came out. Game was decent. It didn't have the same. I don't know what it was, but it didn't have the same feel as the first two. But that's beside the point. The point was when that game was coming out, you can't tell me shit. I was going to play that fucking game, right? That's what I'm saying. I think poor numbers. A lot of time, people like give credence to critics and shit too much. When it comes down to a game you fucking want, you'll buy that shit. Unless you a fuckboy and you buy whatever is popular. I mean, you could be one of them. You could be one of them and talk shit about it. You know what I mean? You could be one of them people. But really, when it comes down to it, I mean, if you a real gamer, and I hate saying that because realistically, if you play game and you exist, you a real gamer. You know what I mean? But if you're a gamer, right? If you're a gamer and you want to play a fucking game, you'll buy that shit and play it. There's nothing stopping you from doing that shit, right? And to each his own. Ian, you probably love that shit, right? I'm just saying. I feel like as far as like what's going on, as far as what I'm seeing, it doesn't seem like people are genuinely hyped about Tomb Raider. It just doesn't seem like it generate any kind of hype. And I don't know how much graphical fidelity matters to this point of view. because this game, from what I've seen and what I've heard, what I've seen for myself, and from what I understand, that more technical people have broken down to me that shit that I don't understand. I'm not a PC dude. I don't fuck with that. I have a an IT department that take care of that shit where I work. I don't deal with that shit. You know what I mean? I'm not like computer illiterate. You know what I'm saying? I know my shit well enough. It's just I don't know deep enough to know what the fuck like all these components that goes into a fucking system to make this shit do what it needs to do, man. You know what I mean? I don't feel like I want to learn that shit either. It's not one of the things I want to learn. I don't know why. I just never decided to pop open a PC and figure out how that shit works. I know how to work the software that's in it, and that's as far as I'm staying. You know what I mean? So I mean, so it doesn't look as good as the original, like Rise, right? Rise of the Tomb Raider. But I don't really think that matters that much. It don't really. If that was the case, everybody would be playing on a PC, and everybody would be, you know what I mean, having an Xbox One X. Some people might love that shit, man. I can't. Hey, is there any kind of holiday or any kind of shit going on today? There's people shooting fireworks out where I live right now, man. Ain't no kind of holiday today, right? I live close to the hood. I don't live in the hood, but I live, you know, several blocks, several blocks away in a very nice neighborhood, which is only a few blocks away. If you make like two left turns and drive a few miles down, you'll see some shit. But hey, did you hear that? It fucked me up for a second. I had to look outside. I see all this fireworks and shit. That fucked me up. I forgot what I was talking about and shit. Yeah, yeah. There you go. There you go. Dan. Don't call me Danny. that's exactly what it is. You know what I mean? From my game room upstairs, I can see far enough to see what area. If you was driving, if this was a video game and you was driving around in my area, and you need sky bird's eye view, I'll be the motherfucker at my window. Hey, 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 make a right there. You don't want to make that left. You know what I mean? Yeah, but that's not. I mean, Asian people is not that deep where I live, man. We I deep, but not like compared to certain areas. You know what I mean? Like we deep as fuck in certain areas, but where I live, there's a decent amount. Enough to where gossip, run rampant. Motherfuckers sit down, and start telling me shit that has nothing to do with me. Telling me other motherfuckers' business. I don't want to fucking know what this motherfucker's business shit. I'm just trying to get my hair cut. But yeah, man, I just don't. I I honestly think that the poor sales numbers, supposedly, that that Tomb Raider's getting, that Shadow of the Tomb Raider, to be clear, man, it's because it's just no one's hyped for it for real. It seemed like a rehash of the last game, if I may. I haven't played it. I can't really say nothing, for real. But from what I understand it to be, it seemed like a rehash of the last game, unless there's new mechanics and whatnot, and it doesn't look as good as it used to be in the last game. But it just doesn't seem like a game that motherfuckers hype for. Motherfuckers go out and be like, damn, I can't before before Tomb Raider come out. I ain't hear motherfuckers like, damn, I can't wait to play that motherfucking Tomb Raider. I mean, y'all heard that shit. And Tomb Raider about to come out, fam. Shadow of the Tomb Raider, fam. I mean, mark your calendars. How many times you heard somebody out there said that? Which one of y'all said that? Any one of y'all said that? Shout out to all 17 of y'all in the chat. Any one of y'all said that shit before? before this game come out. I don't care if it weeks, months, or even years before it came out. Have you said once to yourself, "You so hyped for Shadow of the Tomb Raider"? Anybody? You know what I mean? I don't think so, man. That's what I'm saying. I think that's why it's not doing well. I think gaming is at a point, and this is my own personal opinion about this shit. This has no scientific or journalistic merit to it. It's just what I've seen, so it's just spewing out of my mouth at this point. You know what I mean? I feel like at this point in the game, if you create games that are first player, single player experiences like that, you need to be at the top of your game because you have really stiff competition. And if you don't stand out well enough, whether it's a story or game mechanic or something like that to set you apart, you'll get eaten alive like that. Like people just won't buy that shit. There's just too much other shit that's on people's mind right now. You know what I mean? I think that's what really matters. I think it's mind share over most things. I think that's why I'm in marketing. I think that's how powerful marketing is. Sometimes something could be super trash, but if people love it enough, motherfucker will buy it. What's up, Coon? You know what I mean? If you make somebody love it enough, people would buy that shit. Yeah, exactly. Oh, you know what I mean? Exactly, Matthew. It's one of them games like, oh yeah, yo, that shit came out. All right, cool. It came out. You know what I mean? Cool, it came out. It just doesn't seem like it's a game that motherfuckers are hyped for real. And motherfuckers who say they are don't sound like they mean it. Ask me about Ghost of Tsushima, see how hype I get. You know what I'm saying? Samurai Showdown. If y'all don't know, Samurai Showdown is coming out in 2019. I think a month after Devil May Cry come out or some shit like that. That's crazy. That's crazy, cuz. I mean, do you hear that shit? Do you hear how hype I get for this shit? If you ask me about Shadow of the Tomb Raider, I'm gonna sound exactly like how the community sound about Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Doesn't seem like there's much hype. Hype is infectious, man. You know what I mean? Hype is infectious. I'm not saying if you like, you a little fuck boy that just follow whatever just because something's big, you follow it. But there's a reason why there's hype. Hype usually, wherever there's smoke, there's fire. You know what I mean? Hype usually build because there's something to be hype about, and it just spreads. It spreads to whoever's in that kind of genre, and it might spread to people in gaming in general just because they love gaming that much. I think that's how it works. Guitar Hero for real, guys. Exactly. To each their own. Cool. There's a couple games out there that's third party that I'm pretty hyped for, like Sekiro. I think Sekiro is third party. Well, yeah, Sekiro is definitely third party. Sekiro was shown on Xbox stage, and I did not mean that as a jab. I'm just saying, it's third party. It's going to everything. It's made by From Software. Of course, it's going to everything. It's either on PlayStation only or it's going to everything. Unfortunately. Yeah, man. So I get super hyped for a couple. A couple of them are like third party that I'm really hyped for. Sekiro's one of them. I don't give a fuck what motherfuckers say. I'm hyped for Anthem. You can't tell me you don't want to be Iron Man. Come on, guys. I just want to play. I just want to see what it feels like. I promise you this. This is no bullshit, right? If I was playing Spider-Man and most of everything about it is garbage and the swinging is good, I'll still be somewhat like okay with it. Like if the swinging was like really good, if you really feel as just as good as the Spider-Man, right? If the swinging and the combat's just almost as good as this, I would have forgave like everything else. You know what I'm saying? Good thing though, a lot of other shit was also good because Spider-Man is not a perfect game by any means. By any means, I feel like it deserved like a 92. I think it does. It's a good game, but then again, I also think God of War deserved like a 97 or a 98. It's one of those games to me, but that's just to me. But Spider-Man is like a 91, 92. Like it's a good ass game. I don't think it deserved as low of a score as it did, but that's the problem with that, and we'll get to that a little bit later. But what we want to talk about first is fanboys and corporate slaves, right? There's a big difference. I just want y'all to know that there's actually a big difference between fanboys and corporate slaves. Don't disrespect fanboys. Yes, I said that shit. Don't disrespect fanboys. Fanboys are the shit, like real fanboys, like not bullshit ass fanboys. I mean, like true, real fanboy, like a real patriot. You feel me? Like a real patriot, cuz not a fake ass corporate slave fanboy. That's not a fanboy. There's two different things. Like I miss the days when fanboys was a positive thing. Y'all remember that shit? This once upon a time, like being a fanboy was like a positive thing. You love some shit so much. That's why you love this bullshit so much. You a fucking fanboy. You know what I mean? But that doesn't make you like a shit ass, like worthless, dumbass motherfucker. And I know that sound mean as fuck, but that's just. I mean, y'all seen it, man. I ain't gotta explain shit to y'all. I ain't gotta explain shit. Well, yeah, I mean, I'll get to that video, and that's a valid point too. That's a valid point too. You know, that's a very valid point. That's actually one of the reasons why I want to bring up that topic at the end, right? Because I think it's one of those things that we need to talk about the most. Because that I think that shit got a little bit too convoluted, right? But as far as like fanboys and corporate slaves, man, there's two different things. A fanboy is not really a bad thing. You know what I mean? Because fanboys are the people that generate hype the most. Who would generate the most hype for a Resident Evil game? Resident Evil fanboys. You know what I mean? Like real Resident Evil fanboys. But just because you're a fanboy don't mean you have the damage control. But that's the beauty of it. That's like being a real patriot. You know what I'm saying? If you're a patriot, you love your country, but you understand your country is not perfect. It go through some bullshit. Then you might need to lend a hand to might fix some shit out here. You know what I mean? That's how it works. That's being a true patriot. If you a true fanboy, that's how you would do with the shit that you love as well. You should understand if you love some shit, you love it for certain reasons, but there's some bullshit there, and you need to, adhere to that. You can't just not act like it don't exist. The moment you don't act, you act like that don't exist, or you prefer that, it doesn't matter how it affects you or other gamers or, the nonsense that may be, then you become a corporate slave. You you accepted that shit. Matter of fact, you hope the company does well. Correct? We're doing the bullshit that they do. There's two very different things. A fanboy is not so bad. I mean, we misconstrued the word, man. I remember when fanboy used to be amazing. when I couldn't wait to talk to a fanboy about certain things because they know certain shit way better than I would. You know what I'm saying? Talk to a DC fanboy. This motherfucker will break the DC universe down to your ass. Cause I'm gonna be real with y'all, right? I've never read a DC comic book in my entire life. Ever. Ever, ever. I've seen some DC cartoons and shit growing up. Seen some movies. Not the live action ones. Not the recent live action ones. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I don't know shit about like DC lore for real, for real. But I know some dudes at work that are like DC fanboys, man. They grown as fuck. They're like in their 30s, right? But like they super nerdy ass DC fanboys. And these motherfuckers like basically explain the entire DC universe to my ass. I've never even read a DC comic book, but I know it well enough. You know what I mean? I bet you I know it better than a lot of motherfuckers who do read comic books because I talk to fanboys about that shit. And they get me hype on it. The only thing I really like about DC, really, even though I know so much about it at this point, is still Batman and shit. Because I still think he's dope. I still think Batman and Green Arrow, not the TV version. I actually don't like that one. I know a lot of people like that version, but I don't like that version. I actually like the old school, you know, Green Arrow, like from the comic books and the game and shit. The smart aleck with the facial hair and shit. You know what I mean? I like that version. But man, that's what I'm saying, man. Being a fanboy, there's nothing wrong with that. You love some shit. There's nothing wrong with that. That's the whole point of this shit. I mean, I already said, man, I'm a Capcom fanboy. There's a lot of Capcom games that I get overly hyped for, like Devil May Cry 5. I'm gonna play the fuck out of that game, man. I'm probably gonna play that at least for a month. At least. And I'll probably like play off and on every other month. I mean, it probably never get deleted for a few years, cause until next gen come out, and I might be playing on next gen too. That's how much I play that game because of the combo system. I want to get real good at that combo system, and then once I get real good at it, I just want to prove it. You know what I mean? Such a me, man. But yeah, man, that's the difference between the two. You know what I'm saying? As far as being a corporate slave and being a fanboy, there's nothing wrong with being fanboys as long as you know where you stand. You don't, you don't forfeit your own enjoyment of you that product over to the people who made that product. We understand they made that shit, but the enjoyment, you own that shit. They don't own that shit, cuz. And when they fuck that up, that's them fucking it up. You shouldn't have to like hold on to that and appreciate that, because that's what make corporate slaves. But fanboy out, man. If you love some shit, it's okay. And I'm saying this no matter what kind of fanboy you are. If you love some PlayStations, Nintendo, Xbox, whatever the fuck you into, Mercedes, big booty bitches, whatever it is you a fanboy of, be a fanboy of that. Love it. Love it for the right reason though. You know what I'm saying? Just like being a patriot, man. Love your country, love it for the right reason. That's how you're supposed to do it. You're not supposed to turn a blind eye to what the fuck your country did. Your country did that shit. You own up to that shit, you fix that shit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the reason why we don't have a lot of that's how Trump. I mean, I'm not gonna be all political and shit in this motherfucker, but that's how Trump got. You know what I'm saying, to become president, because motherfuckers ain't true patriots. But then again, Hillary ain't that much better either. That's what I'm saying. I'm not going too deep. I'm just saying we should have never gotten to this point to even have to choose between these two motherfuckers, right? Skip, you talking about the gang or the game, cuz? I don't really think you want to fuck with Zagooses like that. They're nice in person. Trump is a true patriot. Like I said, man, I'm not gonna get into it. Anyways, that's all I want to say, man. You don't want to be a fanboy. I mean, you could be a fanboy, just don't be a corporate slave. That's where you fuck all the way up. But as far as let's talk about the biggest topic of the night, man. Critics and the reviews and how that affects gamers, if it affects gamers at all. You know what I mean? That kind of shit. Here's my opinion in the situation. And like we was talking about earlier, how Vidya was saying if a game is like 7.5 or above, he considered that to be a good game. You know what I mean? So 75% or 7.5, whatever rubric you want to use, if it lands 7.5 or 75 or up, he considered that a good game. And inclined to agree. Matter of fact, I would go as far as to say it's like 70 and up, really. 7 and up? Like, is a 7 really that bad of a score for a game? You know what I mean? But even if you give a game a 60 something, if I've been hyped for this game that much, I'll still probably buy and play it. I played some games that people was like trashing, and I still liked. You know what I mean? It's and here's the yeah, C plus games. They They do their job. You know what I mean? We can't act like all games are supposed to be like amazing. I feel like that's asking for too much. Nothing in life is like that. You go to a classroom, the whole classroom don't get straight A's. It's split in the middle. You know what I mean? Well, not even in the middle. It's like you got 32 kids in a room. Probably 8 of them get straight A's. You know what I mean? The other 8 after that gets, yeah, 8 after that get B's. 8 after that get C's, and the rest of them get, rest of them either get D's or fail. You know what I mean? That's basically usually what it is. Wow, Vieira, you would do 6.5 and up? I don't know. I don't know, man. 6.5. That's ooh, ooh, boy, 6.5. Because every time, you know what the problem with that shit is? Honestly, I feel like it's because we use this rating system, the 6.5, 9.8 bullshit that we use. You know what I mean? Not you in particular, Viera. I'm just saying, like, if you if you use like if you tell me a game that's 9, right? It's a 9. It's rated 90, right? It's a 9, whatever you want to call it. And a game that's 888, right? Can you really tell me that other game is clearly better? And basically you take two games of two different genres. Damn, really? Old titles, PlayStation games rated that low? Damn, motherfuckers back in the day was relentless with, like, ruthless with their scores, huh? 66.5, like all the PlayStation classics. I mean, that's what they're getting now, right? What did they get originally? It can't be that ridiculous. Maybe you know what it is. Maybe because we using like the 10 scale is fucked up for me. Because when I think 10 scale, I think of females, and 6.5. That's that's a little low. I'll do a 7. I'll do a 7. You know what I mean? I do a 7. I don't know about no 6.5. 6.5 mean her hair ain't just combed right for some reason. Her nails always be chipped, and I'm not saying that because I'm Vietnamese either. I mean, her teeth a little yellow or some shit. I mean, 6.5. I don't know if I could do. I could do. I could do a couple of flaws. I don't know all them flaws. Jesus, 6.5 flaws. Them struggles a little difficult for me, man. And I'm not being. And I'm gonna be honest with you. A 6.5 to me might be like a 7 to somebody else. It could be a 4 to somebody else. You know what I mean? That's hard to say. And here's the thing with me too, right? So I'm an Asian dude, and I grow up in the States, and of course I know a lot of Asian people, right? And I hang out with everybody, so I know white people, black dudes, all that. You know how comfortable black people are with me. I'll be extra real with y'all. Like, most of y'all in my chat room is probably black. I say nigga like all the time. I'm not gonna lie. And no one has ever once flinched. None of my homies have ever once flinched hearing me say that shit. Because they understand I never said it in a racial kind of way. You know what I mean? What I say before the word nigga hurts them more than that. You know what I mean? When I say, oh, stupid ass motherfucking nigga, like, you know what I'm saying? That shit hurts them more than that. Like, trust me, I say it like a million times because I listen to a lot of like rap music, as you would call it, black rap music. You know why I say that? Because growing up, that's how, like, that's how Asian people say it. They can't just say rap music. They have to say black first, black rap music. But anyways, I mean, that's the problem with critics, right? Like, and reviews and stuff. We put a number on something. And because we put a number on something, we feel like we could use that number to compare it to another game because that game also has a number put on it. But you can't really compare games like in that sense. You know what I mean? It makes no fucking sense. Like, all right, Spider-Man got like the other day when we was talking about it, Spider-Man got like what was it, an 87, right? 87, 88, right? 87, 88. So at 87, 88, that's good to me, right? I mean, like I said, 7 and up. I don't know about that 6.5 area, John. You can take that easy. But you know what I mean? It's 80, it's an 87, it's 8.7. That's pretty good, right? So, but didn't Sea of Thieves rank higher in some reviewers? Some reviewers who give, you know, Spider-Man that score gave Sea of Thieves or whatever fuck, no, PUBG, whatever the fuck, which one was it? I like they all seem so vanilla. They all seem the same to me. Like, is it PUBG? I forgot what that when we was talking about this in Google Chat, man. Where's Video at, man? Video, you still fucking here though? Is it? Yeah, it is PUBG. That's right. So they gave PUBG a higher score than Spider-Man. Does that make any sense? Right? And that's what Thrash was getting at. Does that make any sense at all that PUBG would get a higher score than Spider-Man? Now, personally, I don't think so. And objectively, right? I don't think so either. Objectively, yeah, objectively and subjectively, I don't think so either. And I'm not even bringing up the downgrades or whatever with PUBG. I don't know if it's been downgraded or not. I don't fucking play that game to even know. You know, I'm just saying it's that seem right to have PUBG rated higher than Spider-Man. And but see, how do we even compare that shit? They're two different games. I'm not talking up or down either game. This is about the discussions of critics and reviews in these games that just so happen to be the centerpiece of it. That has nothing to do with these games. Fuck fanboying out between either game. I personally, like Spider-Man. That's why I played it. I don't care for games like PUBG, like any kind of game like PUBG, where it's, you hop in a big ass map and you camp your ass off. Or maybe you don't. Maybe you don't. From what I've seen, the motherfuckers camp a lot. For all the gameplay I've seen, maybe you don't. Maybe some people play it like how it's supposed to be played and made it more fun by running around trying to shoot each other, and the map gets smaller and smaller. It's just not my bag. Not my cup of tea. Not my ounce of, not my ounce of New York Kush. You know what I'm saying? I don't really care for that. Well, here's the thing with me, man. Like, how do you compare games with opinions, right? Like, that doesn't make sense. I agree with you 100%, Matthew. But also, I actually, and this might be really controversial to some, but I personally love opinion piece reviews. I do. I love a motherfucker who put his opinion into the review. So, but here's the thing with that though. This motherfucker who put his opinion into his review, for damn sure this motherfucker played the game to even have an opinion. Because he has to be able to experience the shit to have the opinion on it. You know what I mean? I can't have opinions on, the inner mechanics and the enjoyment out of those mechanics in PUBG because I don't give a fuck about none of those mechanics. I don't want to even touch it. You know what I mean? But if you talk to Vidiot, who has played it, he would probably break that shit down and explain to you why it's fun to you. Maybe, but I can't. I could do that with Devil May Cry. I'll explain to you the mechanics of Devil May Cry and why it's so much fun. I can't do that with PUBG because I never attempt to. Right? So I actually appreciate someone opinion piece on a game and I prefer that over a fucking number. I think that's where we have it wrong is this number system. It's bullshit. It makes no sense at all to even put a stamp of a number on a game like that. And I know like there's the most like simplistic way of doing it. But I feel like if that's the case, we should separate it. You know, we should separate the categories because it makes no sense. There should be something. There should be something. You know, like because how does a game that's terrible? There are games that are terrible that get higher ratings that are games that are good, that function properly, that you know weave a good narrative and whatnot, right? I mean, it may not be the easiest thing to do to rid ourselves of like the number system, the grading system that we use right now for games in general. But how do you make that make sense? Because I prefer some dude telling me, all right, so I played the game, right? I like the mechanics because it was fast, it was fluid, it responds to me quickly. Like he said he liked it because of that, and I wouldn't be inclined to agree. Now, if he says something about the story and all this shit, and he's telling me his opinion on it, he said he don't like this part of the game because of this, and this, and all that. I can take his opinion on that and will it into my own, and I'll ask myself, am I the type of motherfucker who would like enjoy that type of shit? Does he not like that shit because he's the type of motherfucker who don't? Therefore, he don't like that shit, but I like that shit, so I can actually figure out for myself if this is the type of game for me or not. Because isn't that the point of a fucking review? To let me know if this is the game for me or not? Isn't it? Isn't that the whole point? A review is not used to bash another game. This review is to tell me what if I want this fucking game or not. So I prefer that actually. So I disagree and agree with motherfuckers on the round table all the time, and you know this, right? So certain things Thrash say I co-sign, certain things I can't. So I mean, me, I personally enjoy opinion piece reviews because it tells me what it is that I might be expecting. Why this motherfucker doesn't like it, and maybe that will affect whether I like it or not. You know what I mean? Not affect it, but basically will let me know if I like some shit or not. Because I know how this motherfucker is. If he doesn't like certain things about certain games, and I like those things, then when he say some shit like that, when he say he doesn't like those parts, that's because he doesn't like that shit. I already knew that. You know what I mean? There's certain reviewers where if you stick around with them long enough to understand them, because if they state their opinion, they should state it clearly, right? And you understand their opinion, and you could take that and consider it to your own. So I like that. It's much more difficult than putting a number on a game or a letter on it, but you can at least have an overall understanding of what the game might be. You know how the game is, how it operates, right? And you can figure out if you want it for yourself or not. But you throw a fucking number on it, that's what this game is fucking worth now. It's worth 88, it's worth 92, it's worth 95, whatever the fuck it's worth, right? And maybe because of that, a game maybe like Vieratron, maybe 6.5 has a great personality, you know, and it gets overlooked. It just sits there. No one ever fucking played it because it just sees it's 6.5 and it never touches it. They don't realize that it's fucking just fire, right? She could be fire. Like, who knows? Maybe it doesn't have a good art design on the front cover or some bullshit. Not that that matters so much anymore because nowadays we have trailers, right? But maybe it just looked over. Maybe like critics and reviews just lammed this shit, gave it a low score. And here's the craziest part, right? Here's the craziest part. So sometime I would read a review, like I would read the review. I don't know how many people actually do that anymore. Maybe people just look at the number. Maybe it just simplifies it. Maybe that's for dum dums, right? Here's this game is a 7.9. There you go, motherfucker. It's a 7.9. You don't have to read shit, you know. I don't know if that's why they do that, to throw a number in there and let it be there. And motherfuckers don't have to read shit, you know. And I don't think it does, Jamia. I don't think it really does. Deep down, I really don't think it does. It only do if people don't know nothing about that game. That's when it matters, right? If I don't know anything about a game, if I'm going into like a new genre that I haven't fucked with, you know, and I'm looking through games with low ass review does concern me. You can't say, you know, it doesn't determine anything at all if I don't know nothing about the game. But if I know enough about the game for myself, if I would seem interested in a certain game and I look into it, I did some research on that shit. There's certain shit that's not gonna stop you. Like poor reviews ain't gonna stop you from doing certain shit. I mean, some movies get terrible reviews, cuss, and they sell out box office week after week. How do you explain that shit? You know what I mean? It's some shit you just into, you know? But the way like critics work, it doesn't work that way. You know what I mean? I prefer reading the review. And the craziest part about this number to review shit is sometimes you would read like a review and the reviews would like praise his ass off about this game, right? Wherever the game is. Like they would say nothing but good shit about it. You don't even see any negative like comments in this whole article, but they give it like a 60. And you're like, what the fuck? How does this doesn't make sense? You said nothing but good shit for this game, but you gave it a 60. Those two don't, you know, that doesn't add up at all. And I'm not gonna say, fanboy this, fanboy that, corporate slave this, corporate slave that. These motherfuckers out here doing that. I mean, can't really help those dudes. They exist they exist on the same plane as we do, but in a whole nother existence. You feel me? You they actually think manipulating that score actually matters like that. Like they actually have a true dent. They do actually. They cause the game to actually lose a point or two, really. If they go in on a game, because I've seen God of War reviews. Some of them gave it like a 1. I'm not bullshitting you. Some people gave it a 1. So, well, the those reviews can be affected by that. I'm not gonna deny like it doesn't. But the overall, because the mass number, it's kind of like thumbs ups and thumbs down on YouTube. If you make good enough content, even if you have a decent amount of trolls trolling you and thumbing you down, you would still have an overwhelmingly high number of thumbs up because the people who are down with you are down with you. Speaking of, click the like button. You know what I'm saying? That's the first time I've said that since the first day of the first podcast. Cause now I'm bullshitting. I say that every time I sign out. But yeah, man. I mean, I think that's a better way to review a game for people to actually, if you trolling reviews, exactly, trolling reviews, man. That's what they used. That's how they do it, right? Like they and I don't even know what's worse because the review that said nothing but good shit and give it a 6 would bother me more than the motherfucker that give it a 1 because that motherfucker's obviously fucking trolling. You know what I mean? But the 60 next to a well written reviews makes no sense. Well, it doesn't even have to be well written. If it's just written, if the review is written like praising the game, but the number doesn't match, then like isn't that confusing? Have y'all not read one of those? Have y'all not like go through some reviews and read reviews of like and shit? You know what I mean? And then look at the score they give and the review they write, and for some odd reason, it just doesn't seem like the number and the review they write like correlate to one another. You ever seen that shit? Sometimes they would dog in the game, but for some odd reason they give it like a 7.8 or some shit. Like from the way they talk, it deserve a 6.5. I mean, those things we can't help. Savage. You feel me? Motherfuckers gonna do what they gonna do. The 60, the 60 with a good review like confuses me, but motherfuckers gonna do what they do. You know what I mean? But because of that, I think the number system is kind of ridiculous. I don't know. And I know we use it for many things. We use it for movies. We use it to rate damn near everything. But I think that's a problem more with us than anything else as people, right? Like, what the fuck? Like, well, how do you stamp a number on something and say that's what it's worth? Because that's not what it's worth to each one of us. You know what I mean? I bet you a Spider-Man fan rates Spider-Man much higher than whatever I give it. And I'm a Spider-Man fan too. I'm talking about dudes with Spider-Man draws on. You feel me? On some Peter Parker shit. Right? Come on, fam. Like you can't tell me that dude would not rate that game higher than I would. If you get asked that motherfucker, he'd probably give it a 10. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's his opinion. He loved that shit. I wouldn't. I wouldn't give that game a 10. And I really like the game. The game was the game was almost as good as it could be. Like there's not much wrong with it, but there is stuff wrong with it. You know what I mean? There's certain things they could do a lot better. But the things that they did well, they did way too well. You can't say they didn't. They did certain shit way too well. And that like the and if you want to know what I'm talking about, the story is really odd. It builds really slow. And I'm not giving anything away. I'm just describing it to you. It builds really slow, but like at the third act, man, everything just slammed at you at once. You're like, man, that's a whole lot of shit. And really, dude, honestly, I know it sounds corny, but I really did feel what it felt like to be Spider-Man playing that game. That's a lot of bullshit, cuz I'm like, God damn, man, all this bullshit. I can't stand Mary Jane. Like real shit, ask Peter Parker. I'm like, I can't stand this trifling ass. Like, are you serious? You know the fuck I am. I'm Spider-Man, bitch. What you mean? but but anyway, you know what I mean? I'm just saying, like Spider-Man, like if you a big time Spider-Man fanboy, you love Spider-Man since you was like 5, and you own everything Spider-Man. You have your car Spider-Man decal. You know what I mean? You might give this game a 10. Like I said, I give it a 9.2. If you be doing grade like that, we doing numbers, I'll give it a 9.2. And so the problem with that too is each person opinion is different, right? Each reviewer is different. So like Vieira was saying, right? Vieira was cool with a game 6.5 and up, right? What if the reviewer doesn't feel that way? What if one reviewer feel that way and another reviewer doesn't feel that way? One reviewer is like 6.5 ain't bad, right? Is that how you get a six? You know what I mean? After praising a game, you give it a 6 or a 6.5 after because you think that 6.5 isn't bad or that bad. You know what I mean? Because here's the thing, right? And I'll bring this up like I was talking about earlier before I got sidetracked when I was talking about how I grew up in the States as an Asian dude. Of course, I was born in another country. I came here and to learn English, I had to go through all this shit. So I kind of study America. I had to become an American. You know what I mean? And I have friends from all walks of life. Right? I have friends from all walks of life. And here's the one thing I noticed, right? Whenever whenever a group of dudes sit around and talk and shit, and because I'm an Asian dude, I smash a lot of Asian girls. I'm just be real with it. It's just easier. I know a lot of Asian females. We grew up in the same community. Blah blah blah. It's easy to get in contact with these people. So an Asian chick that's like, and I noticed this like very simply. I noticed this. It's really common too. You ask an Asian dude, you notice, or ask any dude who smashes a particular group of females more often than others, right? If you compare, like, if me and one of my white friends see an Asian chick and we rate this girl, our ratings will be very much askew, very much askew. Because I would give a chick a 6.5, and my white friend would give her an 8 because he probably smashed like 2 Asian chicks his whole life. You know what I'm saying? He probably smashed like 2 Asian chicks his whole life, and I've done that in a weekend. You know what I mean? Not bragging or nothing, but we all had our moments, right? So I'm just saying. done that in a weekend before. So my taste for Asian women are higher than your average white dude who never been with that many Asian women. I'm just saying, right? What the fuck is BOTW? I feel old sometimes when I see that shit. You feel- I feel old. I feel old as fuck because I don't understand none of those abbreviation shit. Breath of the Wild? Really? You didn't like it? See, look at that shit. I loved it. If you looking at personalities. No, because I'm saying, like, I have higher standards when it comes to Asian females. And I probably have lower standards when it comes to like European chicks. I promise you. I promise you. I bet you. If if I kick it with a dude from like England, right? Or even or fuck, where's Ian at? with his with his Scottish ass, right? I bet you like Scottish chicks to him, what the ones I would give like an 8, he would give like a 7 or something. He was like, she alright. I smashed, but she alright. And I'm off like, what you mean? She bad as fuck? 'Cause I don't really know that many Scottish chicks. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I think that's what it is. Like it's like your numbers are skewed. So even reviews are that way. You know what I mean? It's just the way it is. Oh, you was talking about Breath of the Wild. I thought you meant Horizon, the Frozen Wild. I don't know why I get those games confused. Their titles. I don't know why that do that to me. But I thought you was talking about Horizon. Zelda. I don't know, man. That's what I've been hearing. And there's like no in the middle with that game with Zelda. It's either motherfucker love it or they're just like, you know what I mean? Not that good. I just don't. But I'm saying though, it's like, isn't that the same thing though? Like everybody's numbers are different, right? Hey, I'll rock the fuck out of a kilt. I mean, it does look remarkably like a schoolgirl's, uniform. I'm not gonna front, but shout out to Scotland. My fault. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm being stupid. Scottish people ain't never did nothing to me. Matter of fact, I got a couple of subs that are Scottish. That's fucked up. Oh yeah, man. It's not even that weird, bro. It's not even that weird. Almighty Spartan God. Like a lot of people around the world speak multiple language. When I was a kid, I used to speak French. I lost it when I came to the States because I never speak it to anyone. And over time, I just lost it, and I don't even know how to like say nothing no more at all. I picked up English and lost French. Never used it. That's all I'm saying, man. Like the way they rate games, that just doesn't make no sense at all. You feel me? Don't make no sense. How do you rate games like that? It doesn't make sense to put a number on a fucking game and then expect to, you know, have that game live by it and die by it, right? I feel like the written article of the review is more important. And today you don't have to do written articles anymore. You could do YouTube videos. You could do video articles. That's what most motherfuckers do nowadays. So you can at least do the review. Don't put the number at the end. I think that number like stifles it because that game is now associated with that number, whatever that number is. And there's no concrete rubric to what that number is. At least have some kind of rubric. There is none. You ever heard reviews or read reviews where they say We know we rated this game this, and this, and we gave it this score. But with this game, we're not gonna use the same system we used to rate that last game. I'm like, but what the fuck? You know what I mean? Did you just you're gonna use two different rating systems, but you still come up with but you still gonna end up using the same rating score? How does that make sense? We know we gave this other game a lower score because of their lack of originality. This game is, however, very much the same. Does not have any originality, but we're not going to use that kind of rubric to review this game because this game, blah blah blah. You know what I'm saying? What the fuck? What the fuck? Then why? Then why are you going to use the same number system afterwards? It makes no fucking sense. Right, Arian? Fam, like, talking about, bruh, I am flying out. I'm flying out next week. What you doing next weekend? We be in Paris in a day and a half. Hey, I know a dude in high school, right? He's from damn, I forgot what country he's from. But this dude speaks like 17 languages. And I'm like, how do you even remember 17 languages? How do you remember 17 languages, bro? And I was told the more languages you know, the easier it is to learn more and more languages. But I don't know, man. I was trying to like learn Spanish in high school. I ain't learned shit. Yeah, I ain't learned shit in high school. I couldn't. Maybe it's because I'm at the point where I couldn't do it no more. Yeah, yeah. That's no longer. That's no longer something I can fucking. I've never and I've never been able to read it. Back in the day when I was able to like speak it, I wasn't able to read it either. The only reason why I was able to speak it is because like France back in the day tried to take over Vietnam for so long that like a lot of their culture stuck. You feel me? Even though we took their coffee and make it better than them. That's why Vietnamese coffee is off the chain. Have you ever had that shit? If you ever go to a Vietnamese restaurant, get you a Vietnamese cappuccino. It's just off the hook. I do okay, man. Like real talk, Arian too, man. Like sometimes I'll be on YouTube, man. It makes me a little depressed, right? I'm not gonna lie. Like, all right, so I started being a YouTuber, I guess. And I hate saying that, but it is what it is. If you on YouTube, what the fuck are you? You know what I'm saying? You a YouTuber. It is what it is. But you know what I mean? Since the day I started, like, was it last year in like late October, early November, right? And now it's September, so it's close to a year, you know what I mean? And the ride been smooth, right? The ride been real cool. It's like I got 129 subs. That's just nice, right? But I've seen some shit, man. I've seen things. I've been looking around, being a part of this community for damn near a year. I've seen some shit. Boy, and it's just certain things that you don't know how to, you know. Oh yeah. You don't want to fuck with that shit. That should be damn near impossible to shit. Chinese people have so many different dialects. It's fucking ridiculous. Hey, even though Vietnamese is considered one language, but it's really not, fam. It's like three because Vietnam is like not like there's no borders or nothing, but for some odd reason there's like well not some odd reason there's historical reason why. There's like the country is split into three parts, and each part have a different dialect. Even though it was a small ass country, each part have a different ass dialect. So I'm from the south of the country. So I have a southern dialect, and it's diluted because I lived here for so long. My dialect becomes similar to other Vietnamese people that live here, right? And so how the fuck did I know it? It's communist. Oh yeah, it's communist as fuck, cuz I was that's why I live here. If it wasn't, I'd be living in Vietnam right now. My dad was like against communism, so we had to dip the fuck out. So yeah, man, like Vietnam has three different dialects. My mom is from like central Vietnam, right? My dad is from southern Vietnam, but I grew up in southern Vietnam, so my dialect's like my dad. And my mom lost her like we came to the States for so long that she lost her dialect to where her Vietnamese sound like just like every other Vietnamese person that lives in America. But if she gets next to someone, cuz from central Vietnam, her that shit would come back out and it's damn near a different language because I could barely understand her at that point. And I'm fluent in Vietnamese because I used to teach that shit on Sundays. You know what I'm saying? And I can't understand what she's saying because her dialect is so strong. It's almost like another language. And if you go way up north to like the northern part of Vietnam, there's a whole nother language too. No, because I'm not in Cali. Because I used to. I've lived in all parts of the country. Because I lived in Atlanta, which is actually fun as fuck, in my opinion. I lived in California for a while. I lived in San Jose for a while. I lived in Michigan for a very short period of time because I found out it gets cold as fuck in that bitch, and I'm not built for that shit. I'm built for I'm built for fall and spring. I deal with the summer and grudge to the winter. Dog, I hate the winter. I wasn't built for it, man. I was born in a country where 90 degrees is normal weather, man. I still have not gotten used to this shit. I grew up in the States, but fuck this shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm actually in the southern part of the country, man. I live in Louisville, if you know where that is. That's that's about an hour and 30 minutes away from from the Craig Harris, the Messiah. You know what I'm saying? I live about an hour and a half away from him and shit. We've never met. I don't really know a dude like that. I just watched some of his podcasts, and from what I understand, he frequent our you know what I'm saying round table, and that's all I know about dude. I don't really. The only reason why I know I live close by to him because he said to the city he live in. That's how I know. Yeah, I mean, there's this. The craziest part is like I feel like yeah, cause and I feel like dialects is what caused new languages. That's how new languages happen. Because Portuguese and Spanish is very similar, but it's two different languages. And I feel like it's nothing more than like a separation. I think historically that's how it happens, right? I mean, shit, we wouldn't even know. We probably would know. I've never seen his face, and he never seen mine, but we probably could recognize each other's voices. Maybe. I probably recognize his. I don't know if he sounds different in real life or not, but I probably recognize his. I mean, maybe I don't really used to. I don't really go down to his city that much no more. I used to when I was younger, because his city had it's basically a college town. UK is there, University of Kentucky, and every other weekend it'd be mad drunk white bitches, and I'll be there for that. You know what I mean? But I'm cool where I am at. I'm too grown to be doing that no more. That used to be some young shit motherfuckers used to do back in there. Yeah, man. But I mean, I've gotten away from the topics because that's really all I got this week. I thought that I had more to say about this reviews and shit, but I really don't, man. That's about it, right? I just don't think we should do a number system. I think there's a better way of doing it. I'd rather have motherfuckers like write an article, and if he and I don't mind the opinion piece. And from what I understand, I mean, I saw a Thrash video the other day, and I was half asleep, so I didn't really catch it. I didn't really understand it for real. I might want to watch it again just to make sure. But from what I understand, he was saying, was he saying that reviews should be mainly just on just the facts of it all, just these are the information about the game, right? And I'm okay with that too, right? And I like that too. I feel like there's you should you should do both if you can. You should separate the two, right? I feel like that's how I do it. That's why I did when I was trying to do reviews. Just couldn't. I mean, I just couldn't get the right time and shit to do it, man. There's a lot more work to it that I'm able to, and I want to half-ass shit. So I'd rather not do it at all. You know. I mean, I might, man. I might Rosetta Stone that shit. The one thing about me is like once I actually want to do something and sit down and try to do it, if I can't get it done, it'll frustrate me to the point where I'll try to get it right. So if I want it enough, man, I can sit down with some Rosetta Stone shit and try to get Spanish into my brain. Because from what I understand, Spanish isn't that hard to learn, you know. And once you understand Spanish, you'll probably be able to speak up, like pick up Portuguese and shit easier. So I'll probably be trying to do that later. I might, man. I've really been thinking about trying to. I was thinking about trying to pick up French again because it'll be easier because I used to speak that shit, but it ain't. Oh shit, what's up, Lincoln? I didn't even see you there, man. Damn. Yeah, man. But that's what we was on, man. We was on that when we the other day we was having a discussion, boy, about this whole reviews and shit. And everybody had valid points. I'm not gonna front. Like Vidiot had good points. I had good points. Thrash had good points, but we all agree on certain things and disagree on others. And I feel like and it's not so much that sorry to cop. Everybody played that, right? Have you beaten it, Vieira? I don't wanna give none away. Because I'm just curious because I finished it, at least the story anyways, and the story is in my opinion is really good for a Spider-Man game. Like for a Spider-Man game, that's all you can ask for as far as the Spider-Man story. Like in my opinion, I feel like it's like predictable, but of course it is. You know what I'm saying? I don't really care about platinum in games and shit. If you notice, I don't have one single platinum. I don't really give a shit about that. But if you beat the story, I still like fuck around in the game all the time though. I don't. Yeah, I agree with you though, Jimmy. Jimmy, I wish it was a little bit longer. I know there's a lot of side mission. I know there's a lot of side mission to make it longer. But what I mean is, I want the story to be longer. You know. I feel like I feel like the third act kind of came too quickly. Like all of a sudden, you were swinging through the city as Spider-Man taking care of business, all this shit. But at the same time, I kind of like that too. It's really hard. See, this is why I would make like a terrible reviewer to like throw a score on a game. Oh shit, for real? Game plus mode. I'll probably fuck with it again, just like I did with God of War and shit. I mean, I just feel like yeah, the game, man. If I feel like that shit, shit. What's up, GSMC, man? There are optional bosses. Are there? I mean, I'm still playing through it. I beat it already. I'm still like fucking around the city and stuff. There's like certain things I haven't completed, of course, because I don't have the platinum. You already know, and I'm still having fun with it, so I'm not, stopping it at the moment. But So they're saying it'll be a pretty big DLC. I'm not even mad that they, even if it's true that they took it out, I'm not even that mad. The game was pretty good. The only problem I had was like with the story, because I feel like that shit kind of abruptly went like south so quick for this motherfucker. But I feel like maybe that's what they meant to do, because that's the life of Spider-Man. That's why I felt like when I was playing it, I really do feel like I was Spider-Man. I had to deal with this bullshit, and I don't know if it's me or not, but damn, random crimes happen a lot, don't it? New York, man, motherfuckers getting robbed every day, like on every block. Cause can I swing through the city, please, without somebody trying to rob no fucking jewelry store, or you know what I'm saying? Be on a high speed chase and shit. Like, damn, can I get to my next checkpoint, please, before I have to stop and handle some bullshit? You know what I mean? Yeah, the story does make sense, man. It made perfect sense, and I love the story. The only like my only issue, but at the same time, it does work for the narrative of the story. Is like things got abruptly bad real quick. You know what I mean? Out of nowhere, it just went from manageable to like, oh, what the fuck? But I mean that the story is if I have to put a rating on it, like I said, it's a 92. I mean, story was good, but then again, I'm a Spider-Man fan, so maybe you know I think it's good, but other people who are not Spider-Man fan wouldn't think so at all, right? And I think the combat is good. Combat's very good, especially for an open world game. It's not as in depth as a game like Devil May Cry, because a game like Devil May Cry is built for that kind of stuff. You know, those kind of game are built for those kind of combat scenario. This game is built for you not just to fight enemies, but also to swing around the city and do all this other shit. For an open world game, it's very impressive as far as combat. Say what you want about, Horizon Zero Dawn, but Horizon Zero Dawn, her melee combat is very lacking. You can't tell me that's not the case, because her arsenal is off the hook, but her melee game is weak because Aloy's melee game is weak. I hope they do something about that next game. I hope they give her more shit to as far as like spear combat and shit. That'll be cool. If she run up on motherfuckers, stab robots and shit in the neck. I love that shit. Yeah, right. Devil May Cry is built for that kind of like combat. Spider-Man is an open world game, but they did an immaculate job with that combat, and no problem with it. The traversal off the chain. That's what you would want. That's what you would think how Spider-Man like gets around the city. Flipping off buildings and shit, swinging from building to building. And I was trying. At first, I thought I saw one time where like I looked over and the web wasn't sticking to anything. But ever since photo mode and I was trying to look for it, I could never find it again. It always sticks to some shit. Maybe they patch all of it before they throw out photo mode and shit. But I couldn't find it. I couldn't find any time where the web doesn't stick. Web does stick to it. It really does feel like this motherfucker. That's how if Spider-Man was to exist and his physics actually makes sense in real life, where a motherfucker can like shoot a web and swing through the city like that. That's how he would move and act. So I mean, out of like, there's so many things that's like they nailed like perfectly, but there are certain things I don't think they did too well, and it's just my opinion, right? So it's hard to clarify whether it's factual that it's not good or if it's just my opinion, because I didn't think the Mary Jane portions were very good. I think they're lackluster. I'm not saying it's because I was playing as Mary Jane. I don't give a fuck. You know, uh, it's a game. I'll play all the characters that's in the game. I'll play as Aunt May if you let me. I mean, I'll play as Aunt May baking cookies and shit for homeless people if you let me and shit. You know what I mean? It's not about that. I just think it's lackluster. It could have been a lot better. It could have been more fun and exciting, but it wasn't very exciting. It actually halted everything. It could have been a lot better. You know, it halted the whole game down when I was playing there. And I'm not gonna front. I was invested in their relationship, which I feel as a grown man, I'm sitting like, what the fuck am I invested in this bullshit ass relationship that doesn't exist in real life. And the reason why I was invested is I was mad as fuck. Like, the fuck y'all mean you broke up? Like, you know what I'm saying? Well, here's the thing with like here's how I feel about Mary Jane, right? Mary Jane is Peter Parker's Lois Lane, right? And Lois Lane gets saved by Superman, and Mary Jane is supposed to be like this really hot chick that seemed cool as hell that Peter Parker always wanted as a kid, but he was too nerdy to have, right? She represent that. I'm not saying she is that because he doesn't really met Mary Jane till way later. You know, he knows. Of course, yeah, we all know about Gwen Stacy and the whole neck snap and shit, right? But Mary Jane's way after that. Mary Jane's actually that's fucked up to me. But Mary Jane's supposed to be like that super hot chick that represent everything this hero is trying to work for. I'm not saying every hero is working for a hot chick, right? That's not their payoff, but that's one of the things that come along with it. She is that female, counterpart that he needs, but she's not the character you want to be. She's the character you're trying to get. You know what I mean? It's not the same shit. I didn't even like Silver Sable either, cuz I think her story was kind of weird. I'm not gonna lie. If I happened to anything to nitpick, I would nitpick Silver Sable's shit, like her whole role in the game. You know what I mean? I don't want to spoil anything. I thought that portion of the story was kind of weak. It felt kind of forced. I'm not gonna lie. There you go, Skip. There you go. She's just Topanga. There you go. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm not spoiling shit, man. I'm just saying how I feel about certain portion of the game. Yeah, when the fuck did Mary Jane became Solid Snake, man? What the fuck? Since when is she out there talking about I'm trying to get this story and shit? You know what I mean? Mary Jane's supposed to be a news reporter now. Man, that's not Lois Lane at all. And what does she do? Get herself in a situation where she needs to be saved. And the messed up part is like because I am invested in the relationship, I'm like, why the fuck did y'all break up in the first place? You know what I'm saying? But anyways, I don't want to speak too much on that because that might be spoilery and shit. That'd be hilarious if they made MJ a cop. Like Spider Man can't be protecting her no more. She got a gun, fam. She got a Glock. Oh no, I mean they nailed Mary Jane as far as her character, though. I'm not gonna lie, like they did a good job with Mary Jane as far as Mary Jane, and I know a lot of people was complaining how Mary Jane wasn't like a supermodel in this game. I mean, come on, man. She just graduated college. She's a girl from New York that just graduated college. She's not a supermodel. The only reason why she looked that way in the comics and certain mediums is because every girl looked like that in comics. Name me one unsmashable chick, even though they're blue, like Mystique, or you know what I mean. Come on, cuz yeah, you don't know like Superman, like Mary Jane is like ridiculous gorgeous in every like comic book iteration. I don't know what you mean, dude. but I mean, Mary Jane should be like the girl next door, right? She should be. Exactly, all of them, because they're not real. They can make them look as ridiculously good looking as they can want. Name me one Marvel comic chick that looks ugly. Name one. You know, ugly in the traditional sense, I guess. Name one that doesn't have a supermodel's body. Thanks, Matthew, man. I'll be shutting it down pretty soon. I mean, I don't really have much else to talk about. We covered all the topics and shit. I'm just fucking around with y'all at this point. You know what I mean? Squirrel Girl. Hey, Squirrel Girl bad as fuck. I don't know what you mean. Have you seen certain comic books of her, dude? Squirrel Girl bad as fuck. You know they're making a Squirrel Girl movie too, bruh? You know the actress they cast to play her in the live action movie? And yes, there is a live action movie of Squirrel Girl coming out. Yeah, I know that, did you? There's a Squirrel Girl. Yeah, the girl who's playing her is like ridiculous hot. I wouldn't say ridiculous hot. I mean, she's not that hot. I want to overstep that shit. I want to gas that shit up too much, but I mean, she's really pretty. You feel me? And the best part is she actually looked like the character. Yes, Squirrel Girl is hella OP. I really hope the whole X-Men going back to Marvel would happen so I could see Black Panther wife up Storm. That would be the shit. That's a power couple for your ass. A king and a goddess. Don't call me Danny. There's a comic book line called Squirrel Girl Kill the Marvel Universe or some shit like that. But of course that's done out of humor, I guess. What's next? I mean, I'm a big fan of X-Men growing up, man. It's like my favorite Marvel shit. I'm actually really disappointed in how all this shit goes down. But you think about it, if you actually think about it, right? X-Men started it all for Marvel, like in recent years. You know, their first big like animated hit was with X-Men. Their first big movie was with X-Men, right? It's X-Men then Spider-Man. Think about it. Their first big like breakthrough like animated series is with X-Men animated series, and then you get the Spider-Man animated series right afterwards, right? And then you get the X-Men movies, and then you get the Spider-Man movie right afterwards. I'm telling you, those two franchises carry Marvel, and it's just sad to see where Marvel is today. I mean, X-Men is today, man. I wanted a Gambit movie, but that shit never happened. I mean, they was trying to with Channing Tatum, and I'm glad that project fell apart because I don't know how I feel about Channing Tatum being Gambit. He looks too dumb to be Gambit. I'm sorry. He has a dumb face. I'm not saying Channing Tatum is dumb. He might be a genius. I don't know, but he looks dumb. He has a dumbass face. Gambit has a good storyline, man. You feel me though, Vieira? I'm not saying he is dumb. I'm just saying he looks like he's dumb. You feel me? Dude could be a genius. I don't know, but I feel like he just seems dumb. Just the sound of his voice and the way he looks. I don't have much faith in his IQ level. That's all I'm saying. I mean, they did a decent job with him, I guess, in the Wolverine movie, but I mean, they could have done a much better job. Does he have a punchable face? I guess I could see that. It depends on how what kind of face he's making, I guess, but I can see that. You need someone like that's smooth as fuck to play Gambit, man. I didn't see him fit in the role. I'm glad that project didn't go through. I know it sounds fucked up, but that's just that's just what it is. Could he have been Wade Wilson? He probably could have been Wade Wilson. But I mean, after Ryan Reynolds, there's no other Wade Wilson because, and I hate to admit it, but Hugh Jackman, there's no other Wolverine. At least for a few more years, they can't reboot him that early. I don't think Wolverine, bro. That shit. And I hate to admit it because Hugh Jackman isn't really a good Wolverine. He's tall as fuck. The real the comic book Wolverine's little as hell. You know what I mean? He's like 5'3" in the comic books and shit. That's like the whole point to his personality. He's like a small ass dude that fights like a motherfucker. I mean, you could fake a Cajun accent. How does James McAvoy Roy, or is it McAvoy? How you say it? Fake like an American accent. He does a good ass job of it. Or like Rick Grimes from The Walking Dead, the dude who played Rick Grimes. What is his name? Andrew Lincoln. That dude does. That dude's also British. He pulled off like a good ass Southern accent, cuz. And I used to live in Atlanta. I know about that accent. When I was living in Atlanta, my job, I used to work for AT&T, right? I used to work for AT&T, and I would live. And Atlanta is a weird city because when you hear Atlanta, you think of this massive metropolitan, right? But it's not really like that. Atlanta is like actually built up of a bunch of different smaller, like different cities, like damn near in this mac next to each other. So, but they consider all that shit Atlanta because you ask a motherfucker that's from Woodstock where he's from, he's gonna say Atlanta because all that shit's right there, right? But the problem is if you go out of that so-called Atlanta area, everything around that shit is country as fuck. And my job for AT&T back in the day, when I was living down there, I would go to businesses down there, right? And I would try to present them a plan for their phone, their internet, blah blah blah, all the stuff they would need. The contract they would sign for 3 years or 5 years, and all that kind of stuff, right? So I have a certain amount of assignments I get every week that I have to accomplish. And so whenever I see shit that is not within that area of Atlanta, I'm like, fuck. You must be out of your damn mind, old dog. I'll be terrified. I'll fucking be terrified. I'll be terrified. I'll be so mad. I'll be so mad. I would stand up and curse everybody at Marvel out and shit. I would show up at Marvel headquarters fighting them. I'll show up, grab one of them by the collar. Really, motherfucker, Thrash? Really? Really? What the fuck? I mean, Cajun accent could be, could be. could be duplicated. You just gotta find a dude that can actually pull that off. Not only have to look like him, but to pull that shit off is kind of hard. But yeah, man, when I was living in Atlanta down there, boy, if you get out of that area, it becomes real country real quick. Go, you can tell it's country by the name of the town, Gainesville. It just sounds country. You know what I'm saying? Some shit like that. I'm not, but see, that's what I'm saying. I don't think a Cajun accent can't be duplicated. I'm just saying I don't see when I look at dude's face, I don't think Gambit immediately. You know what I mean? I not even immediately. It would never sink in. I'm like, this dude does not look like a good Gambit. Like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like when they announced that Spider-Man is played by a little dude, everybody's like, yeah, he looks like Spider-Man. You know what I mean? Hugh Jackman, yeah, he look like Wolverine. You know what I mean? It's just certain characters you like associate with certain dudes. You know, certain actors you like. Yeah, he fits that character damn near flawlessly. So I don't see how he fits as a character. I don't know if he could pull off the you know Gambit's charm and shit. I don't know if you know this, but Gambit has a secondary mutant power, and that's to attract women. I don't know if y'all know that, but he actually has a power to attract women. And he can't turn it off. That's why it's kind of funny. He can't turn that shit off. It's almost like a bad joke. You feel me? Like Pretty Boy Logan. I mean, see, you gotta be a star of the movie, man. You can't have no raggedy ass looking motherfuckers play the star of the movie. I mean, but James McAvoy did a hell of a job as Professor X. He's actually one of my favorite thing about the X Men movies. Him as Professor X is like at damn like him as young Professor X is just as good as a dude as old Professor X. Like he sold it for me for real. Like I believe in him as Professor X more a lot of times more than like older Professor X because he seems so distant at that point. Young Professor X seemed like he gives a fuck. You know what I mean? You know what? Every time someone bring that up, I was like, man, I grew up around cattle and horses and buffaloes and water buffaloes and all kinds of shit. I've never once thought to myself, and pigs and shit too. I never once told myself, you know what? Yeah, I mean, I put my finger in his mouth and see what happens. Hey, my family, when I was a kid in Vietnam, we had two pet pigs, man. We had two pet dogs and we had two pet pigs. And I never once what I used to do as a kid, what I used to do as a kid, man, in Vietnam is I would like fuck with like the wildlife. I would like go into like a wooded area, like fuck around with the animals there and shit. I would do like mean ass shit to animals, right? I would catch like these big ass motherfucking lizards, right? I would like I would find like a half smoked cigarette somewhere, like someone threw away, and I would like put the cigarette close to the lizard's mouth and it would open up trying to bite me. So it would like open up and it would like bite down on the cigarette butt and I would light it. And after like a few seconds, the lizard would get like all weird and shit. You know what I'm saying? It get this nicotine high and it's supposed to and it fuck the shit up. And for some odd reason, when I was a kid, I used to think that shit was hilarious. I don't know why when I was a kid, I was like, look at this motherfucker all fucked up. Like, I don't know why that was funny to me when I was like 6. But that's the type of shit I did. I never want to stick my finger into anything's booty ever. That's the weirdest thing I've ever did as a kid. That's as far as I can remember. You know what I mean? When I was living in Vietnam, I've never once, you know what I'm saying? Never once was like, let me stick my finger in this motherfucker's booty. I used to like start fires too, but I usually do them outside when I was a kid. You know what I'm saying? When I was a kid, I used to start fires too, but I used to do them outside and shit. I remember ass whoopings like a motherfucker though. I I wasn't a bad kid when I was a kid, man, but I remember being unruly, man. I was just being mischievous all the damn time. I don't know why I was, but I just be doing dumb shit like making lizards smoke cigarettes and shit. You know what I'm saying? Just goofy ass dumb little boy shit. Little boy in third world country shit, I guess. I don't know what it was. But I did a lot of goofy ass, silly ass shit when I was a kid, man. I thought like the stuff I was doing is fucking hilarious when I was a kid. But never once. Never once if I thought about doing that. That's fucked up, cool. That's fucked up. And what's up, Fatal? I mean, I'm about to head out, man. I don't know what you if you don't know about the Winning Hand podcast, but it does not go as long as the fucking round table, and it's usually on time. You know what I'm saying? And I'm about to be out a little bit. I mean, I don't have no more topics to go over, man. I basically exhausted that shit. I'm just, kicking it at this point. I mean, so is there in the month of October? Like, I don't know if y'all know, but I was born in October. I'm a Libra, and you know what I'm saying. And also my this channel, I had this, I guess, this account for like forever, but it didn't really become a channel, I guess, until like last October. So I guess both my real birthday and Royal Flush's birthday is on October. You know what I mean? Birth month, I guess. So I might do something. Is there anything good coming out in October? What's coming out in October that's hot? My brain's like a jumble mess. I don't even know what game's coming out, when, none of that no more. Oh hell yeah, old dog! It's fun as hell growing up in a third world country. I ain't gonna front. I ain't gonna front like it's So Caliber, Assassin's Creed. No, I mean that's already been out. It looks hot. Does it? Odyssey? Yeah, Odyssey comes out in October. I might do a little something, man. Since it's both my birthday and Royal Flush, which is also me. You know what I'm saying? This is birthday is the same month, so I might do something. Oh, speaking of, I ain't seen video. I mean, not video. Goddamn, Big Kid hop on. Uh, damn, I need to get in contact with dude because I need to get his email because Thrash don't know his fucking address either. But I'm gonna get this PlayStation to him one way or another. I need to get in contact with him. I was hoping he'll show up, but I just realized he hasn't shown up this whole time. So I need to. If you watch this later, Big Kid, cuz get in contact with me. Hopefully, I'll see you on the round table or some shit. Because I still don't have your address, cuz I still need to send this shit to you. Fist of the North Star. I don't know, man. I'll figure it out. I might do something in October, just cause I'm not gonna let y'all know when. You know what I'm saying? But whenever, and I'm not even gonna tell y'all which game it is. How about we do that? I'm not even gonna tell y'all. I'm just gonna figure out what's hot, and I might cop two and give one away. I'm not gonna tell y'all which one. So if you get the game and it's not the game that you wanted, then oops, you shouldn't have won it then, motherfucker. Oh, you know what? Before I leave, let's tackle one last thing, right? Let's tackle one last thing. This whole crusader mentality motherfuckers trying to get on when they talk about some bullshit, right? When they talk about when they talk about, you know, their integrity, how it won't let them support certain companies because of bad business practices. You feel me? They tweet that out on the phone that was made in a sweatshop, but they're using that phone, right? I'm just saying, I'm just being real. I'm not, bashing anyone who does because I use a smartphone. My smartphone is probably made by one of my unfortunate cousins that has to go through that shit in life. But you know why I still use it? Because everybody has their lot in life. The fuck am I gonna do to change that shit for real? I mean, if we all get together and stop using the shit immediately, it'll change. But really, if I put my phone down, everybody else will still be using them. Even the motherfuckers talking about how, oh, you shouldn't support anti-consumerism like that. Anti-consumerism? How about anti-fucking people? You feel me? Motherfuckers sit in a fucking sweatshop so much they want to die and jump off the fucking building, but they can't even die because they land on a fucking safety net and their ass get dragged back up into that hell again. But it's cool. You gonna use that phone to do that. You know what I'm saying? And here's the thing with me, right? And real shit, I'm gonna be honest with you. Do I feel bad for those people? I really do. But there's not much I could do about it. And my lifestyle in America is what it is. I need a phone. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna have that. That's the fuck. That's random as fuck. A video I ain't say shit about PUBG, right? But I'm just saying, right? Like, can we get over this whole crusader shit bullshit that we doing? You know what I mean? Let's be real with it. The reason why anti-human, I can't even say that shit. Humanism, nah, that doesn't seem right. I'm not even gonna attempt that shit. Too fucked up for that right now, because um, I mean, I'm just saying, like, if you gonna go that route, then you better be holier than me. You feel me? Like, I use that shit. You know what I mean? And here's the thing, I don't, and I'm gonna get to why I'm getting to this point, right? I'm slowly starting to feel like I don't want to buy Battlefield 5. And it has nothing to do with the low amount of sales and blah blah blah. None of that shit. I really getting sick of the way EA handles shit, right? And here's the thing, that shit affects me. You know why people still use smartphones even though they know? People know. People don't act like people don't know. That's a well-known fact that these phones and Jordans and all kinds of shit are usually making fucking sweatshop with fucking motherfuckers that wish they could be anywhere else in life, like hanging out, you know, by the neck from a tree is a lot more fun than that. They're willing to jump out of buildings for it and shit. But it's out of sight, out of mind. You don't see that shit. I bet you if you walk past that building every day where they build your phones and shit, you might have second thoughts. You know what I'm saying? But as far as, anti-consumerism, let's be honest here. If you really was a crusader like that, you would look into bigger issue. Fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? Fuck out of here with that bullshit. Anti-consumerism. The fuck do you know about consumerism? Period, dude. Like, how you gonna tell a motherfucker anti-consumerism? You know what I mean? I'm bringing up a dead subject because like I said, I don't really give a fuck. I don't want to talk about that shit too deep anymore. But it's just sometimes it is what it is, right? No, no, it's not even about the feminism, races. What the SJW. It's not about that. It's about how EA take care of their business. You know why? Because here's the thing. The reason why I still use a smartphone when smartphones made by people less fortunate than I am is because that's the way the game goes in life. The reason why I complain about bad practices in gaming is that affect me as a gamer. That's just as real as it gets. I know it sounds selfish, but I made peace with that. And everybody else who act like they're better are not. Because if you are, then you would stop using that bitch ass smartphone that's made by a kid who wish he could die while he's making it. You would stop wearing them Jordans because them Jordans are made by a kid somewhere wishing they could die while they're making it. You feel me? But you still do because we live the life we live. We can't, there's only so much empathy you could have for someone else. Because if we start doing that, ain't nothing gonna be there. You know what I mean? Life is about choices you make. If you find that you can't support something, is it because for you or is it for everybody else around you, right? And if it's for everybody else around you, then it is what it is. Well, there you go, Fatal. You one of the few. You get to throw stones. You know what I'm saying? You get to throw stones. The rest of us can't. I can't, but I could be honest with myself. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You ever see that shit? You see what some of the most, you see some of the most fucking toxic ass motherfucking corporate slave ass motherfucker calling somebody else toxic. It's terrifying, man. Like that's like I said, man. I've been on YouTube for close to a year now, and I've seen some shit. I've seen some things, man. Before I got into the game, I mean I watched YouTube, but I wasn't like I guess deep in it like that to where I'm in the coaching more and more, and I'm starting to see more and more. I'm like, Jesus Christ, man, you guys can't be that stupid for real. You feel me? You can't really be that stupid for real. And if you are not, then you are being that stupid on purpose, and that's not good. Yeah, exactly, Garuda. How dare you, motherfucker? The customer's always right because they're the one paying. That's what I mean when I say we are the boss when it comes to this gaming shit. We are gamers. We paid for this shit. You know what I mean? That's why they be saying gamers are always right. Yeah. I mean, and real shit too, Vera. That's why I don't nobody give a fuck about crossplay. You buy a PlayStation to play PlayStation shit. You buy Xbox to play third parties. And play Nintendo because you want to play Nintendo shit. You know? But no, man, I'm about to hop out of here too, man. I appreciate y'all coming through. All 17 of y'all. God damn, it's pretty deep. I think we got up to like 19 for a little bit. I appreciate the love, man. I know it ain't like, two, 300 motherfuckers in here. I don't give a fuck about all that, man. I just appreciate y'all coming through. I mean, I, all I gotta say is like if you read reviews, do that because you want to know if that game is for you or not. Don't do it because you want to you want to find a reason to bash a game. You know what I mean? And affecting the review of a game by a few point would not affect it that much. Is all I'm saying. But yeah, man. I guess I'm about to be out. I'm close to 2 hours. I think this is the longest podcast I've done thus far. I mean, like I said, man, I don't know if I have the endurance to be going through like 2, 3 hours with y'all, man. I don't know how sick does it. I don't have that kind of stamina. I'm not built to be doing these motherfucking podcasts for like 5, 6 hours. Probably because I'm just not entertaining enough to keep on going. Like I would kick it as long as I'm entertaining enough. I don't know what the fuck else to say. You feel me? So I mean, I'm gonna head out. I'll see y'all Tuesday on the round table. Vic Kid, holla at me. We can get that done. But yeah, man. Bro Flush, Draco Rex, Asian Gambit. Y'all have a good night, all right? Well, I'll see y'all on Tuesday. Shit.